Going into Challengers, I really didn't know what to expect. We know what the trailers showed us. It felt more hypersexualized than what I would expect Zendaya to do. But props to their marketing, because that marketing is what led people to the seats, I feel. But watching the movie, I had a completely different perspective about it. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Challengers is a movie that stars Zendaya as Tashi. There's an article I read that it wasn't completely based on true events. Probably one of the characters is. I think it's Zendaya's character. But yeah, it's mostly surrounded by the aspect of tennis. I didn't understand half of the things, the tennis lingo about the whole movie. I didn't get it, but it was really not about tennis, even if it was about tennis, if you get my drift, you know. And it stars Mike Feist playing Art and Josh O'Connor, who plays Patrick. And this Josh O'Connor guy, I usually see him and I automatically see young Prince Charles from The Crown saying, "Mommy, mommy." It's basically surrounding the three actors, and I feel like they really did a good job bringing this story to life. As I said, I really liked the writing, the script. I feel like was really, really tight. And the other thing that I would give props to is the marketing. The marketing in this movie showed the aspect of sexualism being like the overtone of it all, but it wasn't. That's the thing that I really loved about this movie, because I feel like there are actors who don't cross that line, and Zendaya is one of those characters. And I feel like it's just written in her contract. She wouldn't be in weird nude situations, and I'm props to her, because for me, I'm usually like, nude scenes these days are being used too much to a point where they lose their value. There are times these sex scenes make sense, but there are times they don't. And I really loved how they used that aspect of sexualism. You might see Zendaya being in a very weird situation, but oof, it wasn't. They really concentrated in the aspect of their characters and their character build-up and their character development and the whole story. And I think that was really, really good, because the story was really, really good. It was a breath of fresh air for me, because it revolved around the aspect of how people are obsessed with certain aspects of their life. In this case, is tennis. And we see Zendaya's character, Tashi, being a complete control freak when it comes to the aspects of tennis. And these two guys, Art and Patrick, kind of fall in love with her at different aspects of their life, because it's a story that is told with time, and we start from where they are, going back to how or when the story started, which was when they were, I think, in high school, trying to make it in this tennis world. And the other thing that I really loved about it is that Zendaya is a producer in this film. So, you know, she's getting the coins as a producer and an actor as well. And I think that is really smart. A lot of actresses have been doing this, especially these young actresses. I would say her. The other actress that has been doing this and I've been loving it is Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is like a really great actor, and she's really pretty and all these things, but she's like also into the business side of it. The husband and herself have a production house, and I think most of the productions that she's been involved in, even a movie such as Barbie, she had a role to play. Their production house had a role to play. So even when they had success, the $1 billion success, you know that she enjoyed most of it, even as a producer and all. Even Sydney Sweeney, I think the fiancé is also a producer, and was very heavily involved in the projects that they have been working on. Even the latest rom-com that she did in Australia, I think the husband was a producer in it. So these actors or actresses are like, you know, maybe we may not have longevity in this business, but so it's good to like also get behind the scenes, because money is usually behind the scenes when you look at most of these productions. So I think that was a really great decision as Zendaya being the producer in it. And you would see that is where even her control is. She wouldn't probably put herself in a very compromising situation, which is also very smart. But challenges, I kind of realize I've not talked about the story much, but it's a great movie that I would want you to watch, and that's why I don't want to spoil it as much, because if I talk about it, I'll have to spoil it. As I said, the marketing was completely different to what the movie was, but the movie is eye-catching, and it is attention grabbing. I've never seen Zendaya act in this kind of role. I loved how you would tell the difference between her as an adult and her as a teenager. There's the same aspects about her are there, but you would see the difference between the two. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I would. I thought it would be like Euphoria. And for me, if there's a show I said I will never watch, even a gun to my head, is Euphoria. I know people are usually like, oh, yes, it depicts teenage lives, but it's played by adults. Even if it was played by 50-year-olds who are portraying teenagers, I would still not watch it, because it still exploits the aspects of children, because teenagers are also children. As much as they're grown, they're not grown, they're children. And if you put this limelight of children being this sexualized, just leaves the worst taste in my mouth, because I believe children should be children. And for me, it usually just shows how rotten and wicked Hollywood is, because these people work with children and probably don't even see them as children. They just see children as people to be exploited, For me, I would never watch Euphoria. And I know children in those spaces have been sexualized before. Even if you look at shows such as, let's say, probably Vampire Diaries, Elena had no business dating a 100-year-old vampire. When you look at these other vampire movies as well, Twilight, even if you look at shows such as One Tree Hill and Gossip Girl, still, yes, there was some sort of sexualization there, but the Euphoria one just went above and beyond. And once I had people breaking it down, I was like, I would never watch this. And if you watch such a show such as that as an adult and you enjoy it, I would look at you sideways. And I knew you personally, I would just look at you sideways. And I'm so glad that its production is indefinite. People don't know whether it's going to go forward or not, because even behind the scenes, it had so many dramas surrounding it. And I know Zendaya did a good job, because she's had Emmys from it, but she plays a draggy in it, right? I don't know. For me, Euphoria has never sat right with me, and it will never sit right with me. And that's why I would never watch it in a million years. I'd rather watch paint dry. So, Challengers. I feel like I've talked about so many things in this review, but Challengers was such a good film. I don't want to talk much about it, but it has a really good, convincing storyline that you will definitely enjoy. It's a breath of fresh air. It's not something that we've been seeing lately. So I liked the take on it. I like the competitiveness. If you haven't watched Challengers, go watch it. Tell me what you think about it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.